Hello, folks, and welcome back. Welcome to a subventure. Now, what's happening today is we're going to be doing a full loop around Glasgow subway network on our Ventures episode, but also having the twist of one van and one camera and turn it into a hybrid. So here we go. Political news, or Trump has put Keir Starmer in his place and blocked the censorship of Twitter. This situation with Keir Starmer getting upset about that picture bikini thing and trying to block Twitter because of it, or X, it fizzled out as soon as it was mentioned, really. Security news and bus news. A valiant bus driver of London had prevented a passenger from being mugged. However, TfL, Transport for London, and Sadiq Khan said, no, that's very naughty. A guy lost his job, and I honestly hope he goes to all the relevant unions and gets TfL into some serious shit for basically doing his job. Train news, not just because they're in a railway station. The Glasgow to Oban service has been daubed with more bad write-ups. Class 156 trains are very old trains, and most of the trains where heating has failed. Customers have brought themselves to a bizarre, weird low of actually having to bring heaters onto the train and plugging them in. I'm actually more surprised when people plug in like 2000-watt heaters onto the on-train plugs. I'm surprised that doesn't overload the inverters. And when you bring something like 2000-watt heater on, it could overwhelm the inverter. Marriage news. The Beckham wedding drama scenario has been rumbling out and making its way towards newspaper and other forms of media, including YouTube. What do I think of it? I think it's the biggest pile of shite going. They did this kind of act of drama. I strongly believe that was to try and get themselves back into the public light again for a dodgy wedding. And I think they should return back to obscurity because obscurity serves them better there. They should go back where they are most welcome, in the obscurity. I believe we're going to take the outer line. For anyone who is with the UK and wonders what's the difference between the outer and the inner lines, nothing. So here we go. Let's see if I can do that famous going down the escalator shot. I think I've knacked it. This is the first stop, and what we're doing in this episode is, as I said in the previous scene, do a full loop round the Glasgow subway on one line, much akin to a sub crawl, but this occasion we're not actually drinking, but we're just see what we find as each stop arises. Well, it's an area of 11 AM. The only things that are open is the wee charity shop, the bar that is shut. Just across the road where the Azavan is a job centre. Bar, we open in an hour, is the Bag of Nails. So essentially we're at Partick Cross for our first step. I want to tell you something. I'm going to, we click. Here we go. You'll see the place called Autumn and Easton, a hairdresser place currently. Probably about 10-12 years ago. It used to be a laundrette. It was two laundrettes actually. The first owner of the laundrette, was caught selling weed from the laundrette. But the moral of the story was, at one point, you would go in one door and come out stoned. Fantastic. There isn't very much locally to the subway station for me to go and visit, unless I'm a job seeker, which I'm not. But anyway, yeah, I'll try and find somewhere before we get on the subway again back to the next stop. On nearby, by the road, got myself a wee Sainsbury's local branch to go into. Got myself some vital nourishment for this quite long journey. Now, this is between Kiln Hall and Hillhead. I could probably walk it, being honest and being quickest. This street is such a confusing place now. They've hacked a lane of traffic out. Like, honestly, fuckery. Right, so yeah, it's a very short distance for me on the subway, which you can almost see already. Right, folks, we are at Hillhead Station. It looks a bit of a construction site at the minute, but apparently they're going to be bringing the most modern subway system to date. So from one subway to another. They're actually putting a bicycle lane into the street, but the way they're doing it is actually making it very confusing for bus drivers and any other road users. Subway had a motto for long enough and they might still have it. Subway, Subway. But the reality is their way or the highway. So if you want a 6-inch sub with maybe 3 cheese toppings and maybe a pepperoni, they'll let you have the pepperoni and they'll let you have the cheese. But the other 2 cheeses, it's not healthy. However, if you wanted all the fruit and veg toppings, you would be given it all in excess. So yeah, it's not as clean cut as they say. Let's try the infamous walk as the train's moving. A lot of people complained about the rockiness of the train, and cricket, and SVT has said they were getting improvements put on, and yes, they did actually put improvements on. To be honest, I don't actually see any much difference. Right, folks, we are at Kelvin Bridge. It feels nice and spacious in here. Very nice lit station, to be honest. Whilst in the area of Kelvin Bridge, we're going to do a one van and one camera favourite, and that is the Wall of Fame. Right, folks, welcome to the Wall of Fame. A film. Inter-YouTuber drama. I'm talking about YouTubers who start drama with each other and make videos. These gameplay kind of esque videos play in the background whilst they talk about this person they've never met. And some of the occasions they come across a very serious things to be said that are completely baseless and pretty nasty. The good thing is about these inter-YouTube dramas, right? If the two parties were out in the street sharing the same pavement, they wouldn't have nothing to say between each other. A win. Keir Starmer in a bikini. This is brought to us by the guy called Elon Musk, CEO of X. Keir Starmer in a wee bikini, looking sexy. It was funny as fuck. Get it up, you, Keir. I feel. Online language Karens. The whole thread has had a couple S and J's here and there. And then this random Karen gets herself seated up beside one person. Language, no, 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 shushy, shushy, shushy. There's about 3 other people swearing, but you only 0 on 1. Why is that? I'll tell you. It's called the path of least resistance. I win. Vinted. It's a website that started selling used clothing that was still usable and has progressed onto electronics. It's a pretty good website, and also when you get it put through the checkout, most times or not, they will use a delivery system called InPost. It's a bit like the Amazon boxes, but non-specific carrier. Not all the time you're in the house. I win. Stolen Duck, a very poorly drawn version of Donald Duck on Microsoft Office Paint, and they're able to animate the drawings into pretty full cartoons, appealing to the dark-minded and dark-hearted humour palette. It's not for everyone, I've got to admit, because there's murder, sex, gore. I win. Maintenance and repair channels on YouTube. There's that guy, the Australian drain cleaning guy, called Bruce. Drain Cleaning Australia. There we go. Apparently it has links to plumbing, that's pretty good. And also Artisan Electrics. If the gas spoiler fails, you have to get a guy out. Don't try it yourself, because if you go wrong, you could blow the whole building up. And if it was a semi-bad situation, you get caught diddling with gas infrastructure, you're in serious trouble, jail. Something I would like to share, seen recently. YC got a fully booked Edinburgh gig when he was being cancelled. This was with regard to somebody unconnected who had got cancelled maybe a couple of years ago, right? And somebody is obviously throwing outrage about him not just being back on the circuit, not just performing in Edinburgh, but having a fully booked show. Now, here's the answer to that one. It's really fucking nice and easy. He has progressed from what got him cancelled. He has become a better person, and people are willing to give him a try because he has proven whatever caused him to be cancelled is in the past and he's moved on. It's called progression. Look it up. That was quite nice of the barman to allow me charging the camera. So we're just about to return to Kiln Bridge to do the journey. Get ready to fall in love all over again. Love, commitment. Oh fuck it, I'm out here. I'm away. As they say, welcome to St George's Cross. For the curious, I'm going to do a wee speed run. St George's Cross Station is actually at the very butt end of Great Western Road, as you can see. And you can connect up to Maryhill and or Mulgai towards Annie's Land and further afield and into town. I'm going to try and take a wee pit stop and see if I can get something to eat, because apparently this loop that I'm doing on the subway has 16 stops. That's answered a few questions. I know lunch will have to be had elsewhere. Right, we've arrived at Cowcaddens. This is the last non-town serving stop. Right, this is the last out of town stop. It's called Cowcaddens. Nice housing. Hey folks, we're just about to go to a corner shop. That building over there, the blue building, is Police Scotland's building. So normally I would jokingly say, right folks, hide your hash, right? But yous are all sitting nice, safe at home, or maybe wherever you're sitting, I don't care. So you don't need to worry about the police this time. But I would suggest knocking off that rigging the electric box thing, you know. Right, that was a nice country bar. Everything you would expect, want and demand from a country bar. I'd have showed you it, but it didn't last long enough. If you're still hankering for food selfies and stuff, I'd recommend Instagram. However, the common click with Instagram is it's always horrifically burned food selfies, cremated food selfies. If anyone did that to my food, I'd be screaming bloody murder. That's us returning to the subway station to get the next outer circle subway service. That's us at Buchanan Street. This is the first of 3 entrances. So I'll show you the other one. Might do a wee. This is the second entrance exit. And to bring the 3 together, there is the other entrance and exit. This supports people going to Glasgow Queen Street for our trains. Right, it's St Enoch's. I would have made my way to surface and maybe, you know, walked around a bit and maybe went to shop, but this is a town stop and town's just not even worth checking in for. With regards to streets more looking like construction sites, delivery, people knocking public down, and every other societal cancer under the rainbow. So I'm leaving that one at a bay. It really is a shame how town somehow has degenerated and it's become dangerous in certain streets to even be on. I'm not talking about physical dangers, the construction works. I'm talking about the physical dangers of alcohol and drug dependent, and also these deliveries that I frequently talk about. Right, folks, we are at Bridge Street. It's nice to see the 2 trains going at the same time. Right, Bridge Street. We're just outside the town now, making our way round the circle. This area has all sorts of history attached to it. It's very nice. You can see a train station as well. The Lauriston Bar is a place definitely worth going. And we're actually pretty much conversation distance between the Glasgow Sheriff Court. That's possibly one of the biggest courts in Europe, says Craig Houston. And at the minute, the courts are dealing with a lot of mummy bloggers, a lot of people saying things on social media, spicy jokes, edgy memes, you name it. That used to be an adult shop where you could get all your X-rated publications, DVDs and videos at the time. West Street. Apparently this is the halfway point. How am I feeling? I'm feeling alright. Quick correction to myself. West Street is basically Tradeston. And interestingly enough, nearby here is a delivery base. Looking at that shop door, well, it's close to it. I actually thought I was walking by a sex shop because of the paddles. It provided a much needed resource for people. Right folks, we are at Shields Road Subway. We've got a big car parking thing here. We have a fish shop that's just moved here. So yeah, I think we'll have this as an official lunchtime. I'm gonna have to find somewhere for the bathroom to go because I'm not wanting to go down there, you know. When you get to the railway station and you think you've timed it nicely, but you've still got quite a long wait. When you're going to use the lift, you do usual, press the button, you press it, and the lift rolls away without you. And when I thought it was bad enough, the train is getting later and later still. Trusted butcher shop of many a year suddenly puts up billboards outside posting woke messages, Palestine, all that stuff, Ukraine, etc. Just as you meet the top of the escalator, you see your train you need pulling away. The bus decided to break down, and so did I. When your train from Glasgow breaks down, and so do you. Glasgow! Cornbread! Please, sir, can you do me a favour? Turn my wrists. The month has been very difficult. Right, how you drink your juice was in order. There we go. Sprite. Well folks, that's us at Kinning Park. And there's another train just about set off. Cessnock, not long now. We have been going through station after station. So far it's been quite good fun. One thing that I've learned about Cessnock is it certainly has some really good tandoori-esque type places for something to eat and reasonable access to corner shops and a wee pub, all within a short distance of the actual subway station. The good thing about Govan Shopping Centre is the fact it's so close to the subway station. There's a good variety of warm food, cold food, coffees you can get, and really it really does make up for some of the other stops that have nothing for about half a kilometre between the subway station and their venue. And we return to home stop, and that is Partick. Alright, so you're getting rid of Keir Starmer then? Right folks, this is us back exactly where we were just 4.5 hours ago. 4.5 hours to pretty much the second, might I say. It was good. I enjoyed it. Would I do a sub crawl under getting steaming and trying to get my way around the stations? Probably not, actually. Probably not. But I will say one thing. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And yeah, I mean, any questions you've got about the subway, try message me. I'll try and answer it. So yeah, this is the first episode of Ventures for 2026. I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time.